Welcome to the Near Memo, a weekly conversation about search, social, and commerce. What happened, why it matters, and the implications for local. All right, here we are once again. Greg, Mike, David, for episode 17 of the Near Memo, and we do this on Fridays, and I've got to say TGIF today. It's just been a really long week for me, and I'm looking forward to a 3-day weekend. So anyway, Mike,
not such a long week for me, but I'm equally looking forward to the extra day. So
every day is a weekend for you, right, Mike?
Every day is a Wonders Day, but the long weekend is nice because tomorrow's raining. It means I get to go bike riding either Sunday or Monday with my wife, which I'm looking forward to.
All right.
My new mountain e-bikes is zooming up the hills. It's actually a blast. So if you've never tried it, come on by. You can try it. So.
If you live in Western New York, stay off the trails this weekend.
Get out of the way.
So my story, I'm kicking it off. My story is an article I recently wrote at Near Media called Confessions of a Local Guide. And it's just the history of a somewhat tainted history of my interaction with the local guide program and how I learned how to move through the program by finding the easiest way to upload a lot of photos and get a lot of views and achieve level 7 glory in the local guide program.
It has to be said, Mike, that you're like a secret spammer. I didn't know that about you before.
Oh, it's a great way to test Google's how they think about various things. But the reality is that even though I was spamming photos at some level, I actually uploaded a lot. And even though I wasn't in the game for the right reasons, Google still got a lot of work out of me. And it's fascinating to me that Google has so leveraged gamification into so much data, and they have so much confidence that they can control it. And that I played even if I played for the wrong reasons. Or maybe they were the right reasons. I don't know.
Well, you should point out what the serious point is for business owners.
Well, the serious point is that some of the images I uploaded were absolutely terrible. Meanwhile, they became profile images because those business owners had not, in fact, done due diligence and uploaded good local images. The net result was that images that I had uploaded, some of which were good, got 2 or 3 million views. One of the ones that was bad was for a Walgreens, and it's got almost 1 million views, and it was the world's worst image. It's a problem for businesses because they need to get engaged with this because it's their most visible presence on the internet. It's probably the most seen image is that profile image, and I managed to snag a couple of those spots with not very good images.
I was going to say, it sounds like not just a problem for small businesses, but enterprises as well, given your Walgreens example. And I can speak from personal experience helping our large hospital here in town, OHSU. One of their clinics, a patient uploaded a photo from the bathroom that continues to pop in and out of the primary position for a clinic. And it's a pain. And I think even... I will say it feels like it's, knock on wood, that it's a little bit stable now, and the photo that we've uploaded seems to be sticking. But you couldn't be more right that it's your GMB primary photo is the first impression that your brand receives from a lot of searchers, and you've got to make sure that you take ownership of that.
One thing that has always kind of struck me, and I've found to be kind of strange, if not kind of galling, is Google's aggressive use of gamification. I'm a local guide too, but I think I'm only a 5. I mean, I probably have dropped down below because I haven't done anything in a long time. But they're really aggressive use of gamification to incentivize people to add reviews and photos and all these modify profiles. And
answer questions.
Right, and answer questions.
With non-answers.
Precisely, but if you were a business owner, you would never be permitted to incentivize your customers to review you, enter for a chance to win, or quid pro quos, or any of that kind of stuff. So there's a total double standard going on here, and I mean Google probably can defend it in some way, but I find it just really ironic and strange.
Yeah, I mean, the legal basis is that you can't self-promote, you can't incentivize reviews because it's self-promotion and against truth in advertising. It's, it's deceptive. Whereas Google is incentivizing you to leave information about other businesses where they have no interest, no self-interest in that.
So I get that as a kind
I
of
agree with you.
technical legal matter, but just philosophically, it's just really sort of a double standard. It's very odd.
I mean, to me, the bigger issue is that they garner so much information. They have so much hubris. They think they can control it, and yet they never put enough intention into their algorithms to do so. So there's a lot of crap. Puts a lot of the onus and the cost back either on the business or on the agency to make it right. David spent a lot of time dealing with this image. They basically are offloading, externalizing their cost for this data, and that to me is equally egregious, or maybe more.
And Greg, you made a related point in our chat earlier this week that Google is continuing to prioritize sort of volume over quality, and the gamification only increases that prioritization, that they're just after more and more and more, regardless of how good or bad the contributions are.
One of the side effects, I think, of that attitude is that they let a lot of spam go through, and there was that CBC story this week about, it's one of any number of stories now about how a publication did an investigation and discovered a lot of fake reviews, and then you get the sort of standard line, well, we've removed X billion bad profiles, but it's
and the standard line also says, well, the spammer's really smart and we're constantly upgrading our systems and we think we have it under control, which is what they said to me in 2008, as I noted in that article, and they say the exact same thing in 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and so on.
Was that the infamous locksmith measles case?
No, that was Microsoft Escort case.
Ah, okay. Very good.
Yes, totally disingenuous.
That you talk about in the article, which is which is fun to read.
My closing thought on this is, if you want to be a local guide and you want to advance quickly, go read the article. I gave you some great tips how to scale your efforts efficiently. I used Google as my model, and I was able to crank out an image a minute. I was, so.
Are you still doing that?
I am not. Once I hit 7, it was clear I wasn't going to get to 8 where I live. So that's,
you're going to have to move to a more populated area, I think.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Thanks for joining David, Mike, and Greg. To stay on top of the latest developments in local, subscribe to our newsletter at nearmedia.co. We'll see you next week.